So you've got your E-Drags unlocked and you've been using them for a while, but you find out that you keep falling short. So today what I want to show you is some little tricks and tips that you can add to your mass E-Drag attack to help you pull in the 3 stars. This is going to be really good. The mass E-Drag is a very powerful attack. And sometimes you might be watching somebody use it and you see them just spam down some E-Drags, spam down some balloons, just throw everything behind it, and then they kind of walk away. It seems like they just walk away and they're done, and it's like when they come back, it just gets 3-starred automatically. But there actually is some art to it, the E-Drag, and so we're going to look at what it is that you need to do to help you pull in 3 stars. These are 4 different things that you can do that will help you. There'll be some little tricks that you can pull out of your bag depending on the base that you're up against, and it will help you bring some variation to your attacks so that you're not just doing the exact same thing over and over again. And so without further ado, here is the 4 different things you can add. You could add bats, you could add a queen walk, you can add another raid spell, or you could add an Electron. So let's check these out. The first variation is adding bats to your mass E-Drag attack. They actually work really good together, and they work really great in this example that we're going to watch that I did with Kongal. Now, in this particular base, if you look at it, you see all the wizard towers are up there in the top part from 9 to 12, and which means there is no splash in the bottom part from 6 to 3. And this is your traditional anti-air base. I hadn't really seen a lot of these, to be honest. This was really popular for a long time at Town Hall 9 for a while. But it's kind of a neat thing to see. Anyways, and then why it works so well also is this base has 3 single infernos. And so if you can get your bats to take on that portion of base, and the E-Drags to take on this other part where all these wizard towers are, then you're going to be in good shape. Now you notice also in this case I brought a free spell, and that free spell was used on the sweeper. The reasoning for that is you do not want your E-Drags to get caught up in a sweeper because it resets their damage. And so now you see we're getting into the evil, scary part of the base with single infernos, the air defenses, but need no fear because the bats are here. There is nothing that can stop these bats at this point. The only thing that can stop these bats would be some expos or maybe some splash damage, and there's not very much. In fact, there's no splash damage in just 1 expo. So as you can see, these bats are going to chew through all these single target defenses here, and that is why it is a really good option to have in your back pocket. If you see this on a base, then you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw in some bats because they are super cool, and I just love watching them go all around. But as you can see, kind of the problem that can run into with bats, did you see how long these little guys are taking on these gold storages and elixir storages? You just got to keep that in mind when you're using them. Of course, they won't start doing that stuff until all the defenses are down. But they are still really powerful, and I just love having them around. Really fun variation. All right, so now let's look at our second variation that you can do to your E-Drag attacks. Number 2. The second thing you could add to your mass E-Drag attack is you could add a queen walk or a queen charge into it. And so as you can see with this example, why did I choose a queen walk on it? As you can see, all the air defenses on this one are on the outside, or they are snipeable by the queen. And so in this case, I decided that I was going to come from a corner, and I was going to either let my queen go left or right. I was trying to push him with the baby drag. But this is also a pretty good example on how to take on these dreaded little ring bases with E-Drags. And so that's why I'm kind of excited to show you this one. This is another really good example of that. And so as you can see, I've got the queen walking on one side. I use the king to kind of eat away the side over here to keep the queen going one direction or the other. But more specifically, the reasoning for this is I wanted a pretty big hole made. There's a little cocoa loon. And I was just trying to throw a little YOLO with those little wall breakers. If it worked, hooray. If not, oh well. And as you can see, what I'm fixing to do in a few seconds is I'm going to send all the E-Drags right towards the core. So this is what you guys need to do anyways if you're looking at a one of these little ring bases. So now I've got literally everything, the E-Drags, the Stone Slammer, everything is going to that core, and it's going to destroy this whole thing in a few seconds. And now I've got my queen sweeping around the right. I've got E-Drags going right down the middle. And I've got 5 free spells that I can just put on anytime those single Infernos try to mess things up. Or if I've got some air defenses on this backside. It's just really handy to have that many frees whenever you're using this. And so it's really important to me whenever I'm doing one, is I like to go more heavy on the free side. And so after that, we are down, and you can see how tight this is. We're going to get some pretty insane chain value once again from these E-Drags. Some really nice freeze spells are just going to take this whole thing out. And now we've still got a little bit of a problem because now we've got both heroes on the backside. And hit a black bomb right there. There went one. And so still getting some decent chain value, but the queen is still walking around strong. Boom, there goes another one. So I've lost, taken another one of those black air mines to the face. Here comes another one, taking that one again. And lo, that's not again. Boom, boom, there is 2 more. That was just crazy, that many. But the queen is still up, whistling her little song. And that is another way to pull in 3 stars, is if you see the air defenses are on the outside, just add a queen walk to it. Especially if you have a high level queen, then you might as well use it. Number 3, you can add an extra rage spell. Now, when would you want to do this is when you want to try to make an E-Drag funnel. And if you see a tight compartment like EC's right in here, and you will be able to get enough value, he's able to get a ton of value out of that one rage and that one little E-Drag. And as you can see here, he's got this whole compartment gone. He's got this whole compartment over here gone. And now there is nowhere for these E-Drags to go except right down the middle. And so this is another little handy trick. If you have low-level heroes or you're having some problems with getting your E-Drags going down the middle, try this out and you won't be disappointed. Number 4 is you can add what's called an Electron. Now, when do you want to do this? If you see a way to take out multiple air defenses, and maybe even a chance to take out other valuable things like a sweeper or an eagle, or maybe some more archer towers, or things like that, then this is definitely what you want to do. Basically, you're going to set off a little nuclear bomb with clone spells. Now, see this go out, and boom, this just little explosion of clone balloons and E-Drag. We took out the enemy CC. We were able to take out this entire area over to the side, and now we're just kind of cleaning up. These 2 little E-Drags to try to get a nice little channel made in a little bit for the E-Drags to go right down. And so as you can see, we've got our heroes working up at the top. The goal there is for them to clear out that junk that's all at the top, or that trash. And then hopefully the queen will then go down and maybe snag one more air defense. And if that's the case, if we can get that, then there'll only be 1 air defense left on the very back side. Let's see if she pulls it off. She got it. Mission accomplished. And now it's time for the E-Drags to get in. And actually, if truth be told with this, I didn't mean to bring that heal spell. It wasn't until I started the match that I'm like, I guess I'll just use it at the beginning then. I meant to bring along another Rage or some more Freeze, but oh well. It ended up working out anyways with this. But look at the chain value that we're getting out of this. This is incredible. Because this base is so tight like it is, you can just see the chain value, and that poor air defense didn't even get a chance to get a shot off. And this thing was completely crushed. One, because we got so much value out of that clone spell, and two, because this base was so tight. And so if you're, once again, if you're looking at something that you can add, this is probably my second favorite thing behind bats to add to my mass E-Drag attack. So give this a shot. If you see a way for you to get a ton of value out of those clone spells. So guys, hopefully you learned something through watching this video. And if you have any questions, just put it down below. Until next time, we'll see you.